Hi guys, it's Alan Williams Jr. and
Monique Williams.
the Monique Williams. Listen, guys, this is a special episode, a special edition of Mastering Monday, and we're excited about it because we're going to give you a recap of our last virtual mixer, Cappuccino and Connect.
Yes.
Listen, guys, we're pumped up. You know, Cappuccino and Connect, it was an amazing event.
Yeah.
If you have never been to a virtual mixer, that's why we're giving you this highlight. So next time, you won't miss it. But we had breakout sessions in there. We were able to go into the virtual break working lounge. I mean, it was just amazing to hear the conversations, you know, in between times that Monique and I shared.
Right.
So again, today we're going to dive right back into that. We're going to recap our virtual mixer, give you a front row seat at the virtual mixer. But before we do, we want to give you the opportunity to give. Yeah. You have an opportunity to partner in with what we're building here at the Daniel Center of Leadership under the leadership of Marcus and Omika Benjamin, our founders. That's right. That's right. So guys, if you want to give, you can do that. The details will be right on the screen and we'll pin them in the comment section. But guys, you have an opportunity to give, to help us get this message out, to help us reach more people, you know, and then more than anything, you have an opportunity to sow.
Correct.
Because sometimes people catch revelation that's a game changer. And they call us up and they say, hey, man, how can I sow into that? Because I'm receiving what you guys are sharing.
Right.
So you have any parting words before we go in?
So listen, y'all. Get your papers, get your pens, wherever it is. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to go and grab that. Grab that. Come on back. Be ready and prepared to take notes.
That's right. We'll see you guys after this. We hope you guys enjoyed that highlight of our virtual mixer, Cappuccino and Connect. We hope you guys were able to benefit from that just as much as we were.
Yes, listen, it was game changing.
Game changing, even for us. So guys, as you go out today, begin to implement some of those principles. Don't just let them sit there. Don't just let them fall by the wayside. No. Begin to implement some of those principles. And we'll catch you guys back right here next week on Mastering Monday.
Bye, guys.
Right now, we're going to get into to Monique's point, things that you can apply immediately, right?
Right.
We want you guys to leave Cappuccino and Connect like, man, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to apply. I'm ready to share this with my network, share this with people that I know and I love. So let's get into it. So first off, guys, we want to really zero in on time. You want to zero in on time. That's because we can't talk about mastery. We can't begin to talk about the things that we're going to do, the goals that we're going to set, except like we can't begin to have that conversation without first identifying what are we doing with our time. Come on, guys. You right there where you are, in your house, in your living room, in your kitchen, chasing your kids, in your car, whatever you're doing right now, I want you to really think about, how am I currently spending my time? And this can't be an excessive moment, because I mean, of course, we can do an excessive breakdown and really talk about like the things we do every day. Right? The things we do like in the blocks of 3 hours, in the blocks of 6 hours, like what are we doing? And some people say, man, I spend the majority of my day at work, right? Well, okay, let's break that down. What are you doing at work? Right?
That's good.
Right? Because every single moment isn't working.
Right.
Okay. That's a conversation for another day, but every single moment is not working.
Right.
Because I remember when I was at the bank. When I was at the bank, I had aspirations of getting promoted. Mm-hmm. I had aspirations of growing my business, and I also had a young child, and I was also finishing up high school. This is at the very beginning, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, not high school. Jesus. College. Jesus. I was like, man, that's aggressive, Al. You 11th grade at the bank. No. But I was finishing up college. And so in order to do that, I had to maximize, to your point, I had to maximize my minutes, right?
Maximize.
And so that looked differently for me, because when I was at the bank, I mean, then I was in a customer facing role. So, I mean, it wasn't much that I could do when I was quote unquote on the clock, much I could do.
Right.
However, I remember going through a season of time when I had faced rejection. I remember going through a season of time, and during that season, I didn't eat lunch. I did not eat lunch because when I realized the amount of work that I could get done in that 60 minutes, I didn't eat lunch. So on one hand, it gave me an opportunity, like Daniel said, I could read a scripture at the beginning of my lunch. I could focus, I could zero in, and then I could spend the other 45 minutes working on a plan, working on my strategies, sending some emails, researching, reading some books. Guys, I did that for 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, 6 to 8 weeks. And am I saying that you should deprive yourself from food every lunch break? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we have to get away from just blockading stuff and saying, oh man, well, I'm at work for 8 hours and the 2 hours before that I spent getting ready and traveling to work, and then the hour after that I'm getting back from work, getting to the house, etc.
But back to your point, just about like even before and after work, because that's your work, that's your job. You have to do that to produce income to take care of your family at that point. But what are you doing to work on yourself? So before work, carve out at least 30 minutes or an hour to just work on what your business is. As far as like creating ideas, whatever that is, whatever that looks like, take time with God during that time. But make sure you have a set amount of time carved out just for your personal stuff. You know what I mean? 30 minutes, an hour beforehand, or even 30 minutes to an hour after. When I'm driving home from work, sometimes 5 o'clock, you might be in traffic. Take that time to process your thoughts. What am I going to do for the next day? Make those checklists, that type of thing. So just make sure you're working on something of yourself at all times.
So when life is hitting you, right? And they may have had this amazing routine before. Wake up at XYZ time, do this. But then, you have kids, right? You might switch jobs, right? Like things might change in life. So how do you adapt?
So that's a really good question. And I think I've honestly lived my life adapting. Like it's just certain situations you're just thrown in. And, a lot of times you want to throw a hissy fit. Like this has changed. I'm not used to this. And, I can't do this. But in life, there's going to be changes at all times, at all parts of life. So you want to make sure that even though you're going through these changes, and there's a lot of times I felt like I've been gut wrench hit in the freaking stomach. Like this is a change. However, I have to come atop of that and, say, you know what, Monique, this is a real life feeling. You're going to have this anxiety. You're going to go through this because this is change. But how do I manage that change in my mind? You know what I mean? How am I managing that? I sit down and I said, okay, and I talk to myself. I don't know about y'all, but I do. I talk to myself during those times and like, listen, we're going to get through this. Whatever you have to do, take it one day or one step at a time, but it'll happen.
That's right. But here at the Daniel Center, we say debrief is the breakfast of champions, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, like literally 80% of my activity is being debriefed. And I love it that way because a lot of times people say, man, how did you grow at the rate that you grew? It's hugely because of what I learned from others, but then also me debriefing with people who are credible people in my life and people who have been through similar things that I've been through, and they made it through and didn't have an opportunity to connect with them, connect with other people who might have like different vantage points than I have, and to be able to analyze, hey man, you did this really well. Hey, here's an opportunity for you.
Right.
Like here's a growth opportunity, or hey man, we missed the mark on that.
Right.
And oftentimes with my mentor, Mr. Benjamin, who's the founder of the Daniel Center of Leadership, so extremely grateful for him. But I remember when I was leaving the bank and I was transitioning to full-time entrepreneurship. And we sat down, and I want to honestly say the very first conversation we had here at the office was you have to have control of your calendar.
Right.
You have to know what you're doing with your time. That's income producing activities, that's non-income producing activities. Because whatever's on your calendar, we don't have to wish, we don't have to hope, we
Yeah.
don't have to just, like dream. No, you are going to reap whatever it's on your calendar.
Right.
Listen, whatever you're going to produce, it first starts on your calendar.
Correct.
And see, guys, we want you to really understand that. So that's why that first question was, how am I spending my time?
Yeah.
And then challenging you not to just block off and say, okay, I'm at work for 8 hours. I'm with the kids for 4. I sleep for 8. What? No. Go into it creatively saying, okay, God, I know I have a purpose. These are my goals. These are my dreams. These are my aspirations. Now I'm sitting down and I'm customizing my calendar to the best of my ability. We have 5 children. I mean, we have 5 children. We recently relocated. We both are in entrepreneurship. I'm kind of putting a foot back in corporate a little bit. I mean, like it's new. It's a new industry for me. And so for you, real estate's changing. You're kind of dabbling with some corporate stuff as well. And so you do all of that. You relocated. You have a family. I mean, this is real talk.
Yeah. It's real life.
Real life. Like, what do I do, during the change, and how can I still keep a handle on mastery? And that's what, we want to connect around topics like that. But guys, like Monique said, to Monique's point, no. You still have to adapt.
Yeah.
You have to understand, why am I doing this?
Right.
And then when you understand why am I doing this, now it's okay, what do I need to change? We hope you guys enjoyed that highlight of our virtual mixer, Cappuccino and Connect. We hope you guys were able to benefit from that just as much as we were.
Yes, listen, it was game changing.
Game changing, even for us. So guys, as you go out today, begin to implement some of those principles. Don't just let them sit there. Don't just let them fall by the wayside. No. Begin to implement some of those principles, and we'll catch you guys